Hi, welcome to today's video and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be answering this question, how to start retirement planning. Now, this is a huge subject that comes with a lot of questions, a lot of anxieties. You're probably like overwhelmed. Where do we begin? You have a lot of questions being asked. When to start taking CPP? How much money do I put in my RSP? Should I be using RSPs? When do I take money out of my RSP? Should I RIF? Should I do an RSP meltdown? When do we downsize our house? Will our money last throughout our life? I mean, it's crazy, right? So many questions. So we are going to be doing something that is so useful to you today. We're going to use a checklist, this checklist right here. Now, if you haven't downloaded this yet, just go below. You'll see there's a link in the description. Simply go to the website, download it. It's free. There's no cost of doing this at all. If you want to pause the video, print it, come back, and we'll go through it, you can do that. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to be sharing with you how to use this. It's pretty simple to do. We're going to do this in the next 7 minutes. This video will be over. I hope. I try to do these videos in less than 8 or 10 minutes, but we'll see. But in any case, you'll be on track to understanding how to begin putting together a retirement plan and how to isolate some of the concerns or the top priorities, and then how to actually tackle that and build a plan. And so I hope you love it. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is David. I'm an active advisor working with individuals, families, and business owners right across Canada. I've been doing this for 22 years. I do financial plans for my clients. I manage their money. I do insurance as well. I help business owners on how to take money out of their companies without paying an income tax. Of course, I do other things for business owners, but that's one of the biggest areas that I work in for business owners. And yes, I make videos on YouTube because I think it's important that you get really simple, straightforward advice that is going to provide you with the kind of knowledge or education you need around retirement planning or how to protect and grow your assets. And when you've got good information, you're asking better questions, and better questions always lead to better outcomes. So that is the goal of my channel. So welcome. So enough about me. Let's get into this checklist and how to use it. Okay. What I want you to do, if you haven't printed this already, you just follow the screen and I'll share with you. I'm not going to go through all the questions. You can read that. But I want to share with you sort of the categories and sort of the rationale behind using this. It comes about having these big questions that you might have. And you might see yourself in some of these questions. Let's just go through them. There are only 4 that I want to talk about. And then the questionnaire, or not the questionnaire, but the checklist, okay? So question number 1. Are my goals realistic based on my current income? So some people have these big dreams, and it's okay to have big dreams, but you got to back it up with some kind of income stream or some kind of assets that's going to support the income required to have that kind of big retirement plan. So it's important that you really understand how much your goal or how much your retirement is going to cost you, and then getting the assets to supply that income stream. Where should I be invested based on the goals that I have? When I do portfolio reviews for people, it's not just about making sure that you're not invested in something that could be detrimental to you. That happens. I get plenty of portfolios come across my table that I do reviews, and I say, why are you invested in something so aggressive or so risky? You're 2 years away from retirement. That could be a problem. So sometimes it's too risky, but then we're also talking about which accounts do you fund and how big should you fund those accounts. So it depends on what your goal is and where we fund that. What I always say is begin with the end in mind. Figure out what it is that you need or what you want later on, whenever that goal is. Is it 10 years from now? Is it 30 years from now? Figure out what you need, and that should lead you to where you put your money today, okay? Number 3, how much of my income do I need to contribute to my goals? And a lot of people are asking, probably you as well, and that is, hey, we want to live today too. We want to have fun. We want to go on vacation this year. We want to travel, want to get a new car, want to fix the kitchen, do some renos. It'd be nice to do that too. We just don't want to put all our money to retirement. So we want to know, what is that balance of today and in the future? And the financial plan is going to help you to do that. A lot of people are surprised when I do financial plans for them, and they're thinking, especially if you're not, like if you're retiring today and you're doing a financial plan, then your whole plan is all about retirement, right? But when I get people that are 10 years away from retirement, they're surprised because I actually go into not just when you turn 60 or when you turn 65. I say, hey, you're 50 today, and the next 10 years, here's what I see you've got a problem with. And that's because you've supplied me with some insights about your expenses, buying cars or buying a cottage or whatever those expenses. And I'll say, look, it looks like there's going to be a really tight year for you or 2 years for you, or maybe you're going to have kids and all these added expenses. And I'll be able to give you some pre-retirement financial planning, and then also the retirement plan. So it's really a big operation when you get a financial plan, because there's a lot of things that I can help people with, but certainly understanding where to put your money is a good start. Now, number 4, and we'll get into the checklist. What is the one thing I should focus on accomplishing first? That's having too many fires, right? So many things, as I said in the beginning of the video, when to take CPP and when to start RSP meltdown, if you're going to do that, and all these questions. What are the biggest priorities? Which one should I start doing first? Again, this checklist is going to help you isolate that, figure out the right path to do. Now, of course, I always say get a financial plan. This is going to help you, but let's just dig into the checklist, okay? So if you've printed the checklist off, if you haven't, 4 categories right here. And the first one is cash flow. Second is financial assets, income tax, and insurance. So it's going to lead you through sort of categories and questions around those particular categories. So I'll just read the first 5 and then we'll just go through some of the other ones. But cash flow, you plan to retire before age 65. 100% CPP is at age 65. So if you're going to retire before 65, is there some kind of income gap there, and where are you going to supply the income from that? You are projected to have an income shortfall at retirement. Well, it means you don't have enough money at retirement, so what are you going to do to acquire more money? You are projected to have excess income during retirement. That means you have more money than you needed, so that is a planning opportunity for you. You plan to continue to work for a period of time in retirement. So that might be a couple of things. Maybe you haven't fully planned out what you're going to do in retirement, so you don't want to retract completely from your colleagues, the network of friends, and just being active. So you decide to work part-time. Maybe it's because you need the additional income. So we need to sort out which is which, and then what does that do in terms of paying more tax, contributing to CPP. So all these things are actually important for you to consider. And the 5th one, projected RSPs provide more income than will be needed. Again, that's also, I see a lot of people where you have one account that's much larger than the other accounts. So typically that's the RSP side of the equation, and the tax-free savings tends to be a little bit lower. So you really want to be careful about how high or how big you fund one account. You don't want your entire retirement income coming from one pool of money. So if you've got enough time before you hit that retirement phase, let's figure out the right amount of money to put into each account so that you can have a lower tax base as you go through retirement, or you don't have to do these big RSP meltdowns for 10 years or 15 years. It'll be useful. Now, go through these categories. If you answer yes to any one of those, that's the area of focus that you got to pay attention to. That's where you'd want to begin focusing. So you go through financial assets, go down through the income tax questions, and go through the insurance. This should take you 5 minutes to get through, maximum 10 minutes to get through. And when you get to the end, you'll have, at the very end, you'll have these next steps. And so you'll have the categories, and then on the right side, you see you've got short-term, medium-term, and long-term, and not applicable. So you can see that there's some maybe questions that aren't really that applicable to you. Maybe you have no intention of having a big estate for your beneficiaries. Maybe you don't have any children, so you're thinking, I don't need to have anything left behind. Let's have a plan that actually spends our accounts down to 0. Or maybe you do. So, I mean, that's why this checklist is here. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at each one of those categories of where you checked off yes in each one of those categories. And you're going to decide which one of them are short-term, a medium-term, or a long-term. That'll help you to figure out what you need to tackle right away. Now, if you've got a long-term goal, let's say estate planning. Let's say you want to maximize your estate. And that might be 35 years from now when you pass away. That doesn't mean you start 25 years from now. It just means that you've got a little bit more time than the other things that you need to get done right away. That these are short-term things that need to be fulfilled right away versus something that maybe you could take a couple months or 6 months to figure out before you tackle the estate issue. So that's how it helps you prioritize your yeses, okay? I hope this video was good for you. You know, it all begins with a financial plan. I always say this on every video because I firmly believe that everybody should have a financial plan. It's seeing the outcome of your planning decisions before you commit to them. When I do a financial plan, it's remarkable to see the reaction that you have when you look at your financial plan and you start saying, well, what if you were to downsize at this age versus that age? And I do that on the screen for you right away. It takes a matter of minutes. I say, this is what the outcome is. Some of the planning decisions we need to do, and then we'll schedule another call or send the information to you. But most often we can do those changes real time, so you can see the effect of that decision right away, and we can talk about it. So it's not a piece of paper, right, that you just review. This is a living, breathing document that we're going to change the values to make sure that it actually fits your life and it hits all of your goals. So that's why I say it's really important to get a financial plan done, because it gets you the answers you need. Your anxieties are going to lower. You're absolutely going to feel more confident about the decisions you make. I don't know how to stress that. And I wish you could be, looking over my shoulder and watching the reaction that clients have when they realize their biggest, most deepest concerns, the anxieties, the things, and I'm not kidding. Maybe you see yourself in this, where I'm on the phone with people and they're telling me I'm not sleeping. It's keeping me up at night. I'm totally worried about this. And when you can deliver a message to them that says, look, here's the math, here's what this means, you can do these things, wow, the reaction is just amazing. So get a plan done. I'm so happy and grateful that you joined me on today's video. This is the kind of thing that I love giving, this kind of information. If you love this video, share it with everybody. Like and subscribe to my channel because the algorithm loves to see that. We always end the video by saying we take care of your wealth management so you can take care of what's most important to you. Here's my contact information if you need to get in contact with me. Down below in the description, there's all kinds of ways to get in contact with me. Enjoy my channel, and again, thanks very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.